anyway. Good evening. The 10th regular meeting of the Medford School Committee, recording in progress. The 10th regular meeting of the Medford School Committee will come to order. It's June 9th, 6 p.m. There'll be a meeting of the school committee held in the Howard Alden Memorial Chambers, Medford City Hall, and via remote participation. This meeting is being recorded. You can view the meeting live on the Medford Public Schools YouTube channel through Medford Community Media or on your local cable channel, Comcast Channel 9, 8, or 22, and Verizon Channel 43, 45, or 47. Participants can log or call in by using the following link. It's a Zoom link, and the meeting ID is 997-155-5073. Member Rousseau, if you could please call the roll.
Member Brandley. Member Graham. Here. Member Antapa. Here. Member Olapade. Member Reinfeld.
Present.
Member Rousseau present. Mayor Longo-Kurt.
Present. 7 present, 0 absent. Is there any student representatives on the call? Not yet. Not yet. Okay, thank you. And we are all present, so we're going to all rise to salute the flag, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have our, we have our consent agenda, approval of bills and payrolls, approval of capital purchases, approval of grants, approval of field trips. We've got the Medford Crew Team, U.S. Rowing Youth Nationals, June 12th, 2025 in Sarasota, Florida. Approval of meeting minutes, regular meeting, May 19th, 2025. Strategic and Capital Planning Subcommittee, May 20th, 2025. Special meeting of the Committee of the Whole, June 3rd, 2025. Is there a motion on the floor? And if I could ask from the chair, if you could just sever the special meeting of the Committee of the Whole, June 3rd, 2025, to take that separately. Thank you, Member Antapa. Is there a motion to approve everything but? Her mic is not on. Member Reinfeld, did you?
Oh, no, I was asking if we need to sever the Strategic and Capital Planning Subcommittee because we're discussing it later.
That's up to you all.
Okay, so motion to approve.
Motion
I'll second.
Motion to approve by Member Reinfeld, seconded by
Me, Brandley.
Member Brandley. All those in favor to approve the consent agenda except for the special meeting, Committee of the Whole minutes, June 3rd, 2025? All those opposed? Motion passes. And motion to approve the special meeting, Committee of the Whole, June 3rd, 2025. By Member Olapade, seconded by Member Antapa. I'm just going to mark myself as opposed. I have not read the meeting minutes yet. So all those in favor? One opposed, motion passes. Reports of subcommittees, there are none. Then we have multiple reports from our superintendent. First up, recognition of and performance by the Middle School Orchestra MICCA Gold Medal rating. I'll turn it over to you, Dr. Galusi.
Thank you so much. This is an evening that just warms my heart completely. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you to the students and the caregivers, to family members and friends, to Director Sophia Chang for joining us this evening. While we wish that you could play for the whole entire night and before every meeting, we're gathered here to celebrate your accomplishments that you achieved earlier this spring. So this past April, the middle school string ensemble was awarded a gold medal at the 2025 Massachusetts Instrumental and Choral Conductors Association Concert Festival, a deserving award that reflects a tremendous amount of dedication of the students and staff members. So thank you to Fine Arts Director Ms. Fee, very talented orchestra and sing ensemble director, Ms. Sophia Chang, and all the other staff members for creating this pathway for our students and for making sure that we have opportunities in the arts for our students here in Medford. We're very, very proud of your accomplishments. And so at this time, we have so many accomplishments this evening. I'm going to do is invite Director Chang. Are they playing for us? Would you like to?
So tonight, they are going to play for you a jazz piece, which they just learned a few weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago. And they are going to play without the conductor. And I'd like to thank all of you. The result is the hard work from all the students and the continued support from administrators and parents. So enjoy it. On the first violin, Saffron Jacobs, Sinop, Elia Perez, Colin Keith, Benjamin Hayes, Cameron Belanger, and Lillian Schofield. Okay, sorry. Second violin, George Lamb, Maxwell Godwin, Jaden Zhang, Zihan Cho, Aria Yerger, Charles Fleck, sixth grader, Matthew Rensley, good, viola, Sylvia Tran, Leo Hernandez, Max Quinn, Douglas Casey, John DeMille, Cello Wesley Kwong, Caleb Strauss, Daniel Rinsley, Kira Quinn, Margot Renfield, Lillian Barabino, Sophie Levine, Annabelle Foster, Kara Lamb, Evelyn McGoldrick. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Chang. Yes, we do have some certificates for the students. I appreciate you acknowledging them. Could we maybe pause for a picture with them?
Should we go over there?
I think it would be easier if we go to them for this one, yes.
Closer, we are going to take photo. Stand in front of your chair, closer. Yes.
I always drop something. I always drop something. I need to physically take this to my violin and this to my, like in the back. Yes, go ahead.
You can stand on the chair.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Should we move this out of the way?
That's a good idea.
You have to stand closer, please. Stand closer.
I'll stand in front of Aaron because I always do.
Ben, if you make me fall, I'll make sure to fall on you. Ben, you scare me.
Elliot? No, it's Elliot.
Oh, Elia.
Yeah, you Waker?
Thank you, sweatshirt.
Okay.
Oh, mamma mia. Okay. Thank you for being here. A lot of athletes in the room. Next up, we have the recognition of esports. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Suzanne B. Galusi, our intern superintendent.
Thank you. This is very exciting. Round two, here we go. Congratulations to all the students, the parents, the caregivers, the two coaches, Mr. McCready, Mr. Maldonado, and everyone that was involved in the Medford High School Mario Kart team, which won the 2025 Spring Massachusetts School Administrators Association Mario Kart Championship, which is a very big deal. So the victory by our Moo Moo Meadows Mustangs esports team at Fisher College earlier this year marked the first ever MSAA state championship for our esports team. With our program being so new to the Medford High School community, it's really amazing to see how well they have done in such a short amount of time. So much camaraderie, spirit, teamwork, and ultimate success is really something to be acknowledged and appreciated. So a round of applause for our esports team. At this time, and we're going to do this for all of the acknowledgements this evening, we'll have the coaches come to the rail. They'll say a few words, and they'll read the students' names. We'll take a team group photo, and then the certificates will go to the coaches for dissemination to the team. Okay, so at this moment, I'd like to ask Mr. McCready, Mr. Maldonado to come on up.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone. Esports started up about 4 years ago, and just to see how far the kids have come with the program, and just the community has been awesome, a huge support, and just the fact that, you know, this is very important to the students and really just their education. So I can't thank you enough. We're lucky to have 4 teams at Medford High, and the winning coach, Mr. McCready, is going to go ahead and read the students' names. Yeah.
So for our Mario Kart team, we have Richard Torella. We have Lawrence Gilmore,
You want to stand up?
Jalen Richardson,
Stand up. You want to stand up? Stand up when your name's called, so we know who you are. Thank you.
Nobi Ashihara, repping our trophy as well. Echo Valdez Melgar, our captain. Juan Tapia. And last but not least, Justin Lara. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we're going to ask everyone to come in the center, the team and the coaches for a quick photo.
Oh, my.
Yeah, you're gonna back up a little bit, back up a little bit. Make sure that trophy's nice in the middle.
Congratulations again. Next up, we have the recognition of winter, spring GBL champions and individual athletic achievements. Dr. Galusi.
Thank you. This will be a little bit of a longer one, but I'm going to call Director Rachel Perry up to the podium. I just want to introduce as she's kind of walking up. Thank you. Before I pass it to you, I just do want to give a shout out to all the students, the caregivers, the coaches, everyone that is here tonight and throughout the whole 2 seasons that we're acknowledging this evening, for your dedication to the team, to the sport, to your preparation. It takes a lot of work, and we're really tremendously proud of you and your success. Tonight, we are acknowledging, in the fall, we acknowledged the fall sports, and so tonight we are acknowledging winter and spring. There were 14 different sports won the GBL, which I know Director Perry is going to acknowledge, and or a regional event. So tremendous accomplishments. We're all very proud of you. And without further ado, same scenario. So you'll go sport by sport. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Longo-Kern, Dr. Galusi, and members of the school committee. I am honored to be here tonight to recognize our amazing athletic achievements for the winter and spring seasons. Our athletes dedicate themselves in the classroom and in the athletic arena, working hard day in and day out. I'd like to thank our athletes and our coaches for their commitment and dedication to Mustang athletics. Tonight, we will recognize GBL champions, record holders, and students that will compete or have competed in national competitions. Thank you. First, I'd like to recognize Cooper Sue, who could not be here with us tonight. Unfortunately, they have their track banquet, but he actually competed in the Nike Nationals in the hurdles over the winter in New York. So that was a great accomplishment for Cooper. We have a certificate for him that we'll present him at school tomorrow. The next team up is our gymnastics GBL championship team. I'm going to call up Coach Fortino and Coach Corrigan.
Thank you so much. Little story about our gymnastics team. We are very small but mighty, and they've won for the past 3 years. So I'd like to recognize Captain Alex Lombardo. Captain Jocelyn Barugo. Jocelyn. Elsa Mara. And Ariana Ramos. Thank you.
Director Perry, do we want to come on? Yes, thank you.
On an island, yeah. Yeah. All right, ready, everybody? All right, guys. Good job.
Thank you and congratulations. The next team up, we have ice hockey, Coach Ned O'Keefe. I'm just going to ask everyone to hold applause till we read all the names, and you can applaud again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, school committee, Mayor Brianna, Suzanne Galuzzi, Rachel, everyone. I appreciate being recognized for, congratulate everyone on all the sports. It's good for the kids to have this, you know. So I said a while back about staying at Medford High, and we love the fact that all these kids go to the high school who live here. Okay, for the hockey team, graded Boston League champions. We're 6-0, 10-10 overall. It's my first year as the head coach. It was a learning experience. I've been involved with the program for about 15 years, but plan on being back. I love it, and I love the kids. I had 5 seniors. I'm just going to say everyone's name here. Christopher Alexander, James Camuso, Vincent Castro, Carter Sharon, Mason Sharon, Evan Chaloni, Thomas Dyer, Colin Lee, Cameron Lind, Finn McGeckran, Anthony Matarisi, Rowan Maywalt, Cole McDermott, Jaden Morgan, Jacob
Stand
Murdoch, Colin O'Keefe,
I see
Nolan
Rowan.
O'Keefe, Joe Russo, PJ Solera, Joe Trent, and Nathan Tremlett. Thank you.
We're definitely all hockey boys, aren't you? We're gonna have to squeeze in a little bit more here. There you go. All right, good.
So we're going to stand when our name is called, right?
Yes, stand, your name is called. Thank you. Congratulations, boys hockey. Next, moving on to spring, we have our Greater Boston League champion baseball team, Coach Orazio Azzarello.
Thank you very much. I just want to say congratulations to all the GBL champions. What a year for Medford High School. It's great to be a Mustang, I'll tell you that much. Medford baseball, we won the GBL this year, first time in 10 years, so that was a great accomplishment. Made the tournament and upset Brookline, first time in 7 years for Medford. So I'm very proud of this group, and they definitely deserve this night for them. Thank you very much. Jaden Burns, Emmett Chasteen, David Trohan, John Dubuque, Joshua Ettore, Alex Gazzola, Matteo Jambuso, Justin Marino, Travers Moody, Mike Mirando, Mike Piccolo, Rocco Pucci, Ethan Ramsey, Jaron Sanchez, John Wright, Colin O'Keefe, Dom Branley, Owen Regan, and Quinn Natali. Thank you very much.
Back up a little more for me, guys. All right, Mr. Pachel's gonna get one more.
Thank you. Next, we have our Greater Boston League undefeated GBL champs, our softball team, Coach Jackie Palecchia.
Hey, everyone. Thank you for allowing us to be here today. Our team finished the season undefeated in the GBL and 18-2 overall, making it through the first round of states and losing in the second round to the #2 team in the state. We have a young team, so we're coming back next year with the same fight. First, I'd like to recognize Ruby Andreasen, Grace Anzalone, Jamie Anzalone, Jacqueline Branley, Sydney Conti, Kaylee Dixon, Lily Kiley, Ella Christensen, Alex Lombardo, Evelyn Machiave, Caroline McDonough, Isla McInnes, Ava O'Brien, Carissa Parafori, Joy Riccioli, Kat Riccioli, and Isabel Tadia.
Next, we have our Greater Boston League undefeated champions, girls lacrosse, Coach Passacantilli.
Thank you so much for having us here tonight. We had a really incredible season. We made it to the state tournament for the first time in 10 years. We were named league champs for the first time in 9 years and undefeated in the league. We were also undefeated at home, and we broke the program record for most amount of wins in a season. My roster includes Riley Allen, Erin Alves, Caitlin Alves, Tatum Boudreau, Becky Casey, Sienna Fossey, McKenna Galuzzo, Jordan Godfrey, Sophia Ishmael, Ava Lavoy, Mia Leal, Leah Marino, Lily Morris, Gia Russo, and Georgia Scott.
And next, we have our Greater Boston League undefeated champions, boys lacrosse, Anthony Tatora.
Thank you for inviting us. As Ms. Perry said, we finished 8-0 in league play and 14-4 with our regular schedule. We also finished in the top 32 of Division I in all of the state. But I would like to congratulate the whole team, Hayden Butler, James Camuso, Vinny Castro, Carter Sharon, Evan Sorelli. Did I pronounce that right? Yeah, I don't know. Patrick Converse, Lucas Dias Golden, Gabe Kennedy, Milo Liu, Anthony Matarisi, James Montello, Jeremy Morris, Nicholas Morris, Reed Piscini, Alex Pinto, Joe Russo, Josh Santos, Cooper Sue, Nathan Tremlett, and Ben Tuco.
I'd also like to recognize one of our athletes who had a phenomenal senior year on the football field, on the basketball court, and on the baseball field. He couldn't be here with us tonight, but Justin Marino scored 1,000 points in his career. So congratulations, Justin. We'll get his certificate to him. Thank you. And next, I am going to call up Coach Stavros for our crew team, who will be talking about the season and acknowledging our athletes that will be participating in nationals this week in Florida. Coach Stavros.
Thank you, school committee. Thank you, Rachel, for your support over the years. This was an interesting season for us, coming off last fall's state championship sculling. At this year's state sculling, it got eliminated because of high waters and wind. So we didn't have a chance to capture that, but we were able to capture the second varsity 4 bronze medal. And the 4 kids that were in that boat will be heading to the nationals to represent us in the youth under 17 double sculling. And that is Jaden Wu, Owen Baccarat-Kroll, Adam Cesars, and Henry Gregoire.
Thank you all for joining us tonight. Congratulations. Keep up the hard work, and we can't wait to see you here again next year. Unless you're going to college, then kill it there too. I have some citations. Okay. Peter. Thank you, everybody. Great first hour for us. Next up, we have recognition of our retiring staff members with over 20 years of service to the Medford Public Schools. I'm going to turn it over again to Dr. Galusi.
Thank you so much. This is a very special acknowledgement for Medford Public Schools, but also for myself. I know not everybody was able to be here tonight, but we really wanted to make sure to use this time to give special recognition to 5 Medford Public Schools employees who are retiring at the end of this school year and whom have each given at least more than 20 years of service to our students and our school communities, and that is very significant and really needs to be acknowledged and celebrated. So each of these 5 individuals have impacted hundreds, if not thousands, of students during their time here and throughout their job roles. And we really want to thank them for everything they have done for their school communities and making it a better place and making our students feel warm and welcomed. We wish you all the best in the next chapter of your life. We know you're going to be going on to do other things, but we really wish you all the best. And on behalf of the Medford Public Schools community, we wish you congratulations on your retirement. So I know not everyone was able to be here, but I still would like to acknowledge the 5 names, and then we'll call the 2 members up for their certificate from Mayor Burke. Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Mayor Longo Kern. I didn't know if you wanted to say anything or if you wanted.
No, I believe we have 2 people
Yes,
here that have
yes.
put in, Ms. Gomez, you put in 32 years with the Medford Public Schools, and Ms. Breen, 25 years. And I know you're joined by your family because that's pretty extraordinary. And like Dr. Galusi said, and I speak for the committee, thank you for everything you've done for our school system and for our students. We appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck in your next chapter, in your future. I'm sure you'll still go out and do great things and have some time with your family. So thank you for everything on behalf of myself and the school committee.
And we'll call you up in just one moment, but I do want to acknowledge, we also have Karen Roberto, a school nurse who gave us 25 years of service. We have Jana Ewing, a 2nd grade classroom teacher at the McGlynn, who gave us 34 years of service. And to Mary Horty, who was a physical education teacher, 30 years of service. And at this time, we have, oh yeah, thank you. Do you want to speak?
You take a picture?
Yes, go ahead.
We're just gonna get the microphone on.
There's a red button. There's a button.
Got it. I think it's on. Somebody else pressed it. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I literally didn't know why I was being invited to the school committee meeting. And I kind of figured it out, but my daughter's here, so it's wonderful. So when I first started as a school counselor at the Dame, I was the only school counselor. There were no school psychologists, there were no behaviorists, and I was the only one for 10 years. And then I started at the Brooks. Again, I was the only mental health person at that school, and now there are 4 full-time mental health staff at the school. So it just shows you how the field has changed and how much need we have for mental health services in the public schools. So I've loved it, and I'm going to be very sad, but 32 years, so I guess I can do something else now. It's
Great
wonderful.
job. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you again. We also have two additional people moving on, Dr. Cushing and Paul Texera. So I'm going to turn it again over to Dr. Galusi to start us off.
Thank you so much. So I would like to have Dr. Cushing and Mr. Paul Texera come to the podium. I just have a few words that I would like to say. And then I know that there are some members of the school committee that would also like to say a few words. So I know we've said this before at school committee meetings, but both Dr. Cushing and both Mr. Texera are leaving Medford Public Schools for superintendencies. Dr. Cushing will, yes. Dr. Cushing is the next superintendent for Beverly Public Schools, and Mr. Texera is the next superintendent for Provincetown Public School. So first, I just want to acknowledge, so for Peter, Dr. Cushing, we sincerely thank you for your 6 years of dedicated service to Medford Public Schools, to your commitment to maintaining and upgrading our facilities, our IT infrastructure, our innovation and enrichment opportunities for students, and security, as you've played a key role in creating a safe and supportive environment for our students and our staff. As Dr. Cushing moves on to the next chapter of his career as the superintendent of Beverly Public Schools, we wish him success and express our deep appreciation for his contribution to Medford Public Schools. Thank you, Dr. Cushing, for the spirit you brought to the sentiment of, "It's a great day to be a Mustang." We agree and know that you will bring that spirit with you as you inspire Beverly Panther community. To Mr. Texera, we extend our heartfelt thanks to you as our EL director for, I didn't know the exact number, Paul. I know it's over a decade. Oh, I was wrong. Just shy of a decade. There we go. There we go. Those COVID years count as 0.5. In your dedicated service to Medford Public Schools. Paul's commitment to ensuring equitable instruction and opportunities for all students, but specifically our English learners, have made a lasting impact on our district and in their lives. And so while he also moves on to a superintendency, and it's wonderful news for Provincetown, it's certainly a little bittersweet for Medford. And Paul has pretty big shoes to fill. We will deeply miss your partnership, your guidance, and your strategic thinking, but don't worry, because I will be reaching out and touching base with you. But in all seriousness, Mr. Texera, your skills and experience, you're ready for this new role, and though we will miss you greatly, we're confident that you're going to make a positive difference, and we're just a phone call away. And before we kind of give something, I think there may be some school committee members that have a few words to say as well.
Member Reinfeld?
Yes, so we got together and we got you some little things, and we just want to say thank you for everything you've done for the district, for the schools of Medford. You've had your fingers in so many different projects over the years, and I know whenever I would reach out and say, hey, what about this? You were already on it. And I know that you were doing it for the students. Your values and your actions were so beautifully aligned, and we really, really appreciate that. So we have some cards, we have some tokens of appreciation, and also, do we want to share those or hand them out?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Member Rousseau?
Well, let's do this first because this is fun. A little different.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I will display it proudly.
That is. Amazing.
Member Reinfeld.
We also couldn't let you leave without a reminder of one of the projects, one of the perhaps unexpected projects that has haunted you for your entire time since I've seen you.
Thank you very much. That's Murray, you know. Thank you.
Member Rousseau.
That's awesome.
Thank you. I wanted to thank Paul and let him know that I look forward to perhaps having a place to stay in Provincetown. Although I suspect that's a popular request. It's so cheap to stay there. And Dr. Cushing, I wanted to thank you for your never-ending ask about self-reflection, but not doing it alone by asking me, how am I doing and how does this seem? And, that level of openness to criticism I thought was refreshing. And, I could be blunt and honest with you and you were totally fine with it. And I appreciate that. And I'm going to miss that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Member Graham.
Thank you. I just wanted to echo what everyone has said already. Thank you both so much. How Medford has interacted with students has changed so dramatically in the last 10 years, and it's all for the better, and you're part of that, so thank you.
I also want to just say thank you so much for your years of service here in Medford. Peter, you wore so many hats so many times, and you juggled so much and got the job done. And Paul, same. You over the years, especially through COVID, just that calm presence, and just great to have you as part of the team. We are losing two very, very strong admin in the Medford Public Schools. I know Dr. Lucy will do her best with trying to fill your shoes, but it's going to be very difficult. So thank you for all you've done. Member Ntapa.
Thank you, Mayor. I just echo all the comments of my colleagues. Thank you both for doing all the work you've done to make the Medford Public Schools a better place for our students. The framework you guys have set up will continue to do so even while you are both in your respective roles. It was funny, I think, reflecting on the past, not exactly 2 years of being here, some of the two first thoughts I had was, what exactly is Peter's job description? Because of the amount of hats that he wears and the amount of things he does. Is he mark on? What is he doing? And then the second, when I state, I work for the Medford Public Schools, I'm the school committee. It's like, isn't Paul Texera just great? Isn't he just phenomenal? And so you both really are very key figures in our school system. And I just want to thank you both for doing, the work that you've done. And like the mayor said, it is bittersweet, but excited to see what you guys do next. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Peter needs to wear the belt for my class.
Just in case. That's amazing.
Next up, we have the update to policy IKF, increased flexibility for students, health and physical education requirements. Again, going to turn it over to Dr. Lucy.
Thank you. Good evening. So I know in your, we've had conversations back and forth. I know in your packets, you have the updated language for the graduation requirements for physical education and health. I will review those and just let me know if you want it displayed, but in having conversations, and Director Rachel Perry is still here, so I would invite her to the podium in case there are any questions. What you have in front of you is the Medford Public Schools response to increasing flexibility for our students, which would move Health 1. Students would either take Health 1 in 9th grade or in 10th grade, depending on their schedule and the demands of each individual student's schedule. And Health 2 would either be completed in grade 10 or grade 11. Physical education, the requirement is 8 semesters of physical education with 4 enrolled in Medford Public Schools, Medford High School courses. And then the second 4 students would have a choice. They can continue taking courses offered by Medford High School, or they can participate in the independent study that Director Perry has created. The independent study is a footnote at the bottom of the graduation requirement, as well as linked to a separate document for review. The independent study, I don't know, would you like, I can explain it. I don't know if you want to explain the independent study.
Sure, I can. Sure. The independent study was created so that students would have some flexibility and be able to take some more courses within their day. There's a lot of our students that do take things outside of school, dance, jujitsu, things like that. So I thought that was a great opportunity for us to count that as some credit, but allow students to have some room in their schedule to take other electives that they could take. So I thought it was a great opportunity. And it also still allows us to offer some electives that students might want to continue taking. I think some of the things we're thinking about is like an advanced nutrition course, an athletic training course. One of the things that I've been thinking about as well is maybe teaming up with our math department and doing an athletic statistics course where we can have students come out and work with our sports teams. So there's a lot of great things that we can do for electives as well.
Thank you. And so for the independent study students, after they've completed the 4 semesters of physical education courses through Medford High School, there are pathways that they can choose. So if they are current athletes, that is one way that students that are enrolled in playing a Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association sanctioned sport would qualify them for the independent study per approval and consultation with Director Perry, as well as the opportunity for students that are in an instructionally based activity. So dance, martial arts, things of that nature. That would require also approval by Dr. Perry, the passing of the 4 previous courses, and just a log from the instructor of those fitness/exercise programs.
Sure, this is something that we have done in the past as well for those students that were taking 6 majors. So some of our students that wanted to double in math in their sophomore year, we did offer an independent study for those students as well. So it's something we have done in the past. We're just really now opening it up to more students.
Any questions? Member Reinfeld?
Thank you for putting this together. I really appreciate the increased flexibility. When we saw this last time, there was also talk of independent studies for health, and I'm wondering what happened with those. Where they?
So I think what we can do for that piece would be to offer more health electives for students to take.
Would that count as part of the physical education independent study, or would those be their own independent electives?
That would be own independent electives.
Mm-hmm. Member Graham?
Thank you for this. I think this creates a lot of options, which, as you know, like that's part of what we've been trying to do with this, all of this scheduled change is to open up the kind of options that students really have time to explore and get the academic support that they need along the way. And the prior schedule just didn't allow for that across many different kinds of students. I am really happy that we are sort of holding to our commitment to health education. I certainly think we have room to do the same in middle school, and sort of look at the rigor around our middle school curriculum in many regards. But I think providing this kind of flexibility at the high school level is really important because that's really where there is so much opportunity. And I think providing programming like athletic statistics and athletic training, like there's plenty of students who would really embrace that, and it would back up the math teaching that is going on in the building as well. So I think opening up the electives in general is just, it's new and it's different, but I think there's so many possibilities. And I think especially when you can capture the attention of students in a thing that they're already passionate about, like you have so much more opportunity. So I'm really glad to hear about all of the elective offerings that this is allowing us to get to. Because there are only so many hours in the day, and there are only so many teachers in the building. And so creating some ways for us to be a little bit more creative is super important and exciting. So thank you for doing all this work. I know it's like at the very last minute, but I think students starting next year will be really appreciative of the change. So thank you.
Thank you. No, Member Rousseau?
Thank you. I especially like the part about students who do not pass the MCAS. I know it's slightly off topic. It's part of the policy, but going back and getting those kids their diplomas is a big deal. And I just was, I see that, well, they wouldn't be students, they'd all be adults at this point, but that they can request this on our website. I don't know where on the website that would be found. So maybe we could make that a little more obvious. And if we have students that are interested, I feel like we should do something for them. They're not students, they're all grown-ups, but if they want something and we can do something for them to make it feel special, I would be totally up for that. 2003 is a long time ago to graduate, but I suspect that a lot of folks who would have received a diploma but did not and are now being told they can have one, like probably a very bittersweet thing, but I think that if they're open to, if they want to do something, we should do something for them. So that's not a motion, but just a thought. It really has always bothered me that they could pass all of the stuff we say, but still not get a diploma. And can't really right that wrong from the perspective of how that affected their lives, but we can at least give them a diploma and make it a big deal like it was for everybody else that went to graduation. So thank you.
Thank you, Member
Can I
Rousseau.
make a-
Dr. Lucy?
Yes, thank you. So I do know that our high school administrative staff and guidance department, school counseling department has been in touch with some previous students who are looking for their diploma. I can have a conversation about acknowledgement to your point, but I do know that we have received some requests and that those are being fulfilled as they come in. So an acknowledgement is something that I can have a conversation about. That's a very nice idea. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion on the floor? Member Branley? Sure.
Do we know how many people, how many students it is, or adults at this point, I should say?
I wouldn't want to.
I don't want to quote.
I
no
wouldn't want to
quote, but-
misspeak. I know of 2 for sure.
Okay.
But I can get a firm number and let you all know.
Do we have to put a motion on the floor to have some sort of little soiree, or are we good? We can just have that in our own little fun time.
Yes.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, if they want one. Okay, thank you.
Is there a motion on the floor for approval? By Member Ntapa, seconded by Member Olopade. All those in favor? All those opposed? Member Rousseau?
Was the second reading, right?
I think we asked for adjustments, so this might be the first. We asked for, yeah, adjustments. So this is the first reading.
Oh, the first reading. Okay, thank you. And who firsted and seconded?
It was
I've already
member
forgotten.
Intapa and then seconded by member Olapade.
Thank you.
And all those are in favor, none, any opposed? Motion passes. First reading has been approved. Motion by member Graham to waive the second reading. Member Reinfeld seconds. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Readings are waived.
Thank you. The high school counseling staff appreciates the expedition of that because, yes. Yes, I was, thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Moving on to our number 8, our budget amendment and vote. I'm going to invite up Mr. Jerry McHugh, our budget analyst. And Noel Velez. Welcome.
Thank you, school committee members, and in your packet, you have a reconciliation plan that was discussed at the time the budget was passed. It was certainly discussed at the city council meeting as well. The school committee approved the budget last March to, based on the needs of the district. The city was able to fund most of that and asked us to come up with a way to see if we can make some adjustments in order to align with the budget proposal that the mayor was able to submit to the city council a few weeks ago. So it relies on a few things. We have some funds from the Question 8 override. We have some revolving funds that are performing very well that we can transfer some positions to. We were able to get a commitment from the city for a free cash appropriation to help with some of our capital needs. And then we made several small moves so that we're still spending up to the level that the school committee approved back in May, but we've kind of made adjustments to the sources of revenue that can help fund those positions and expenses. And then, the budget has to be monitored all the time. And when it's time to develop next year's budget, we'll take a look at all these moves. Can they be sustained? And we'll continue to sustain them. If they can't, we'll make some budget proposals to make sure we have sufficient funds to run Medford Public Schools.
Thank you. Thank you both. And I know the free cash papers are on the city council agenda for tomorrow. I think we just need to get one more paper before the council, their last meeting, which is in 2 weeks. But otherwise, everything is under control from my office on the many papers we're trying to get to the council before the end of the fiscal year. If there's no questions, is there a motion for approval? Member Graham?
Member Rousseau, I think, was first.
Member Rousseau, then Member Graham.
Thank you. I know we've talked about the stabilization fund several times. I don't know what the accounting requirements are to make sure that really happens, but I just want to make sure that all the Ts are being crossed and Is are being dotted so that we don't find out that there was like a July 1. Oh, sorry, we didn't do it by July 1, so it can't happen until next time we have certified cash or something. So I just want to make sure that's happening.
Well, we've been invited to a city council meeting tomorrow night, so I believe that part of the proposal is being put forward to city council. So it would need to happen before the year closes, and the year won't close possibly till August or September, but the idea would be that we will have money in FY '25 that we want to make available in FY '26. So there'll be a transfer from our FY '25 budget into the stabilization fund.
Great.
In order to make that happen.
Thank you very much.
Member Graham?
Thank you. Thank you for this reconciliation. I think I just want to highlight some of the top line of this, which one is that the city increased its allocation to Medford Public Schools to 3%. So thank you to the mayor for the hard work and the sweat that I think it
You're very
probably took to
pushy.
get
You
there.
are very pushy. We did it. We did it. We're good.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. I think it's super important, but one of the things that if you look in the weeds of this, one of the things I'm most excited about is Ms. Cabral from the high school has been talking about the need to create an alternative program at Medford High for 2 years now. And among all of the things that have happened since we approved the budget, we also collectively found funding for her to get that started. And that will be really, really critical, particularly for some of our freshmen, is my understanding, as they come up to the high school from the middle school, to have increased academic support so that they can graduate on time. And I think it's a huge deal to be able to have this space to create this program. And I know that wasn't in the budget when we started. So adding that sort of made things slightly worse in terms of reconciliation. But we were able to get there through any number of things. We'll talk in just a few minutes about the MEP line items as well, because that came up, and that's, I think, next on our agenda. But I'm just really happy that we were able to have a budget year without fanfare. And I do want to thank everybody who supported questions 7 and 8, because that is why we were able to have a budget without fanfare. For those people who may be listening at home, I think the other important thing about the stabilization funds that we're talking about is those stabilization funds are being put into place because there are things that we will pay for in FY '26 that got going in some way, shape, or form in FY '25, which is the reason we have to hold the money over. We also are continuing to negotiate with our bargaining partners, including the nurses and the paras and our maintenance team and our cafeteria staff. And who am I missing? Next year. So there's still like 4 unions or so that we are working diligently with. We had meetings earlier today with one of them. And so all of that unknown means in all likelihood, those funds are going to need to be expended in FY '26 instead of FY '25. So the stabilization fund that will go before the council to be created will just allow us the flexibility to do that without creating another crisis next year. So I think all of this is sort of thank you to the sound fiscal management that's happening at Medford Public Schools. I know it's a constantly moving pile of quicksand when you look at the budget and the number of people and who is where and who's retiring and who's needs to come in and who, how all of this fits together. So I just think like you both have done a really, really nice job. And when we can boil down a meeting in June to one page, that's clear as day what's happening. Like we have made so many considerable strides in our finance office. Like I'm really, really impressed. So thank you very much. And I would make a motion to approve the budget as amended.
Member Reinfeld.
I just wanted to echo the thanks that has already been said and to note that I'm pleased that these adjustments do not include cuts to the arts and to mental health support. I see some of those things have increased for the position needs here. And so I want to call that out and say thank you, because those I think are really essential for the health of our community. And I will second the motion.
Motion for approval by Member Graham, seconded by Member Reinfeld. Do you want a roll call vote?
That means me. Member Branley. Actually, yes.
Yeah, it's your conflict, so you have to
Abstain.
decide, yeah. And do you want to announce what your conflict is? That's what I do usually.
Okay, yes, so my sister is literacy coach here in the district. My mother's a lunch monitor, so that covers me.
And same before the roll's called, my sister works in the Medford Public Schools, so I'll also be abstaining. Roll call, please.
Member Graham,
Yes.
Member Antapa,
Yes.
Member Olapate,
Yes.
Member Reinfeld,
Yes.
Member Russo, yes, and Mayor Longo Kern is abstaining.
Abstaining, yes, 5 in favor, 2 abstaining. Paper passes. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you all. We do not have any presentations of the public, but we do have continued business, 2025-12, offered by Member Reinfeld. Whereas uneven distribution of students across the city's elementary schools has constrained Medford Public Schools' ability to most effectively.
We've read it a couple times
We've read it,
now.
yes, this is space needs
this
in
is-
the Medford Public
Yes.
Schools elementary
And it's also
schools.
our report from the subcommittee, so.
Okay.
Someone second my waive reading.
Second.
Motion to waive the reading by Member Reinfeld, seconded by Member Graham. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, reading has been waived. I'm going to turn it over to who? Member Graham.
Thank you. We did have a subcommittee meeting few light years ago now, but actually on May 20th. And during that meeting, Dr. Glusi shared a presentation with us that provided all of this information. It was linked in your packets for anybody who wants to take a deeper dive. And we talked a little bit about the data and what the data was telling us across all of our elementary schools in particular. And we had a really interesting conversation about potential solutions, all of which are longer term than the immediate need that we have to make sure that we have space to welcome students in August. Dr. Glusi also let us know that there will be a detailed space study happening in the district this summer to really sort of map out and lay out like our plan as we go forward when we look at our enrollment trends. So now that we are looking at our enrollment trends in a formal way every year, it makes sense to say, how far into the future does this particular plan hold and what are the possible solutions? So that will be happening this year, this summer. But we did make a couple of motions in subcommittee that I think that we should read out here and vote on as a larger committee because the Roberts right now is full. And the question becomes like, what do we do in order to alleviate that issue for August? Because the space study is not going to have those kinds of magical answers. So we had some public participation from members of the Roberts community as well as some of our other elementary communities. And there were a couple of motions that came out of the minutes. So one was a motion to move 2 MEEP classrooms from the Roberts to the Mississauga starting at the beginning of August. And that was unanimously agreed to be voted out to this group. Creating that space, so the Mississauga has space for those 2 classrooms, but creating 2 classrooms worth of space at the Roberts is pretty pivotal to what comes next, which was to request 2 additional FTEs at the Roberts to account for some of the bigger bubble classrooms that we have. And there's like more bubbles there on a continuous basis. So they're probably not bubbles anymore. They probably just are like sort of the way things are. But those FTE counts were also in the budget that we just approved. So that these have been accounted for as well. That also passed unanimously. And then there was a third motion as amended to create a strategic space planning task force of staff and caregivers. Once the space utilization study is completed, by the HMFH architects, and that also passed unanimously. So I think the space study is going to be really important so that we know what options we have. But then the real work will begin in terms of what does that mean in terms of change. So having a task force of sorts of staff and caregivers to be part of that process as it unfolds in the late summer and early fall was another recommendation. So I think we should take a vote on those three, and we can do it all together, or we can do them one at a time. We should do them separate. Okay.
And just to jump in, you mentioned the bubble, but to be really explicit about what that is, all but one grade at the Roberts next year will have 5 classrooms at that level. Everyone except the 5th graders. And that is where those new classrooms are needed. And it also affects the ability to engage with specialists. So you saw in the amended budget that one of those positions is a specialist teacher. So
Right,
that
so-
everyone gets that access to those enrichment academic experiences.
So do you want me to read the motions?
That'd be great.
Oh,
Somebody. Okay, sure.
okay.
The motion is to move, meet the two, or is there two? Are there only two?
Two.
Okay, to move 2 MEP classrooms from the Roberts to the Mississippi beginning in August of 2025. I'll make that motion.
I'll
Second.
second it. Member Graham.
Question?
Member Intapa?
Thank you, Mayor. So quick question. Thank you all for doing the work and trying to figure out this very large issue of space capacity that we have within the district. So I was not able to attend the meeting, and I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. So I just wanted to ask a quick question. Was there a specific reason as to why the Mississauga was chosen? Was it just because of the space? or
The
was it-
Mississauga was the only school that didn't have space constraints.
Okay.
And had classrooms available with bathrooms for
Okay.
the preschool level.
I just wasn't sure because I know we have a good amount of, I believe, services going on at the Mississauga. So I just wanted to make sure that that wouldn't cause an issue of introducing another, like, again, just wanted to cover all bases because I just don't want it to, I just want to make sure that that was accounted for, and also the fact that those folks were consulted on that decision.
Dr. Galusi as well.
Thank you. I can clarify that. So
Yeah.
first, if we're just looking at enrollment, as Member Reinfeld stated, the Mississauga is the only school right now without constraints regarding enrollment as well as programming. So we had moved previously. The McGlynn School, I think it's important to note, the McGlynn School may not have the enrollment capacity issues that the Brooks or the Roberts has, but the McGlynn does have some space constraints.
Yeah.
It is the only elementary school with 3 floors, and the other elementary schools have 4 floors. So by removing like a whole entire floor of options, they may not have the enrollment capacity, but they definitely have a space one. So two things have happened. One, at the McGlynn, there is a need for an additional access classroom next year. So we had to increase in that area. When Mr. Texera created the additional strand of newcomer that also was at the McGlynn, that's 5 classrooms right there. At that time, or around that time, the MEP program that was at the McGlynn was relocated to the Mississauga. So the McGlynn for the past, Ms. Bowen, 2-3 years has not had a MEP program. So it's also creates a nice opportunity for a little bit more collaboration, because right now there'll just be 2 schools with MEP programming. The other thing that we did see is our work with Mr. McHugh and Mr. Velez and Mr. Texera is that next year for our newcomer program in grade 5, we don't need 2 5th grade newcomer classrooms. So it will just be at the McGlynn, and that 5th grade at the Mississauga also creates yet another classroom space that is available. So right now you will, for next year, 25, 26, you will have Ms. Bowen, two or three MEP classrooms at the Brooks, two MEP classrooms at the Brooks, and then the remaining at the Missituck, I believe it's now 5.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I think what I'm pulling from is, I believe it was, while we're talking about budget cycles, last budget cycle, the Missituck came up quite a bit just because while there is lower enrollment in certain areas, there are higher needs. And so that's why I sort of was curious if folks from the Missituck were consulted with if it would, how much disruption, not disruption, but how much, bringing it in would cause. But if that has been considered, then.
Sure, I think it's important to note, so Ms. Bowen did go over and have meetings with staff.
Okay.
There was outreach to caregivers. And I think that's very valid. Every elementary school has specialized programming under special education.
Right.
I would say those vary in regard to need, those vary in regard to support and resource, as well as enrollment. So there is a need for sure at the Missituck, just as there is at the Roberts. I think part of that data that I presented at the subcommittee meeting showed that, so the Roberts specialized programming, the Connections program is quite large and actually growing each year. And I believe they're up to 5 classrooms. And the therapeutic learning program at the Missituck definitely has student need, as they all do, but there are 3 classrooms. And so it's also just a matter of space and availability.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm sure this all was answered in the meeting. It's just not something I had a chance to look at yet, so I just wanted to ask it on the floor. So thank you.
That's understandable.
Thank you. Member Graham and Member Reinfeld?
Just ready to
Vote.
Roll call.
Oh, okay.
Sure. Well, I was just also going to say one of the things, not to rehash the entire meeting, because I think it is worth looking at the presentation and the recap, but is that one of the things we're thinking about with that came up was the new high school is looking to have early childhood, because there are programs like that in the building. We have a unique opportunity with MSBA to grow MEP-like programs for the whole district. And so this meeting was a really interesting balance of the short term fixing the challenges that are directly affecting next year's ability to really stay above water and looking at the long-term solutions. And so early childhood, we had an interesting discussion around that in the context of both the new high school and what all the schools have to offer, as Dr. Galusi said.
All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passes. Member Rousseau?
Thank you. The next one is the motion. Do we need to motion to request? We already did that. We've already approved that, sorry. The motion is, excuse me, as amended, so I don't have the language of the unamended, but I'll find that. Is to create a strategic space planning task force of staff and caregivers once our space utilization study is completed by HMFH Architects. I'll approve, motion that. I did.
That
we do a space needs study with the architects? Is that?
So the space study is commissioned for the summer to happen. And then once that data is in, it falls to the district to analyze and say, all right, what are we going to do with this? Does this mean we're restructuring the grade levels at different schools? Does this mean we're changing how kindergarten enrollment happens? Is it changing districting? It's to explore those longer term solutions with the data about what our buildings can handle.
Okay, got it. Thanks. I couldn't hear Member Rousseau, so that's why I wanted clarification. Okay, so is the motion on the floor?
Is to create a task force.
To create a task force, seconded by Member Reinfeld, seconded by?
I motioned.
Member Rousseau, seconded by Member Reinfeld. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Paper passes. Okay, thank you. No new business, no reports requested. We do have a condolence Members of the Medford School Committee express their sincerest condolences to the family of Joseph Lacusi, the father of retired vocational graphic arts teacher Angelo, am I pronouncing that correctly? Lacasi. If we all may rise for a moment of silence. Our last and next regular meeting of the Medford School Committee before the summer is June 18th, 2025. This meeting, that's a Wednesday, next week, next Wednesday. That's at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and it will be held remotely only. So the agenda and link will be on both the city and school calendar for anybody that wants to tune in or participate.
Around communication.
Which
with
Wednesday?
families.
The
This
11th.
coming Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
The 11th. Okay, great. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion to adjourn. My microphone's on.
Member Reinfeld, seconded by Member Branley. All those in favor? All those opposed?